Well, gone people, my inquisitive crew. Let's talk about Love and Hip Hop Miami. Now, the show was obviously full of madness as always, but Shay's daughter's birthday party, I mean, boy, it was just full of mix up from the beginning, right? From Shay announcing to everyone that she don't know where her baby father is. He weren't there yet. He was running late. I was like, okay, did everyone need to know that, really? And then, of course, you had Sukihana and Momma Dee beefing. Now, I will say that Momma Dee was definitely wrong for the comment she made about Sukihana, and she should just apologised and, been a bit more grown up about it. But Sukihana needs to decide what direction she's going in, because I feel like she's having her own little internal war where she kind of wants to move away from her ratchet image, and then, when she gets called on it, she don't like it. But it's also, you've got to look at the image that you're putting out there. If you put that image out there, you're going to get called on it. This is the problem. Not saying that what she said was right, but it's just the way it goes in this world that we live in. You can't serve two masters. But I feel like Momma Dee was trying to tell her about the image, as a black woman. But essentially, it was a valid point, but wrong messenger and delivery, because obviously Sukihana, like she said, she's a mother. She's only been in a couple of relationships, and people might see her and think that she's been with the world. She said it before in interviews that she's only had like a handful of relationships in real life. And, that's not to say who she is at the core. So I think that's where her problem lies, in the fact that, she may feel a certain way and she's a certain way, but the image she's portraying, gives people different impression. But of course, Momma Dee is always in people's business, but she should know a bit better than to be coming at people like this. Now on to Shay's baby daddy, Fable, who turns up 3 hours late and, surprises her with a gift. So obviously all this is given on her side, but not with her mother. Her mother was not impressed and told him basically, oh yeah, you're 3 hours late. And then of course brings up this dog because she's, told her daughter that she wants to give back the dog to her, and she brings it up to him. Now I must say his reaction to her was just plain rude, just damn out of order and rude. It gave me the impression of like new money, you just got new money, you got a stank attitude. But it's just like, you didn't have to be so rude to the woman. Okay, if you don't like the dogs, that's fine, but all he had to say is, what, Mum, no disrespect, but speak to your daughter about it. I don't really want to talk about this, and I've already given her my thoughts on that. Keep it simple and respectful. So I'm not surprised that MJ got upset and got a bit angry about it and started to go off on him. Although I don't necessarily think it's the right venue. You're at a 1-year-old's birthday party, so you shouldn't be smashing nothing. But he had a right to try and defend his mum, because I felt like Fable was being quite disrespectful, and like, Shay, where did you pick him up from? Like, this is not good home training. The least you can do is respect the elders and respect the mother of your woman, essentially, and your daughter's grandmother. Like, come on now. She's not like she was disrespectful to him either. She just literally said, I don't want to have the dog anymore. So what was all that about? It's Shay's responsibility, and she needs to make that decision, and he needs to have that conversation with her, and the mum should leave it with Shay too. Shay knows this, which is why, she kind of brought up the issue, but, was saying basically to the mum that, well, she don't think he's going to like the idea. Now, going back slightly to Amara, her situation just had me kind of laughing a little bit, because it's like, Amara, please, you already knew what Safari was like. That the man's in a mix-up. So why are you acting like a surprise when your publicist is telling you that it's going to impact your reputation? Because obviously, that's what happens, isn't it? When say, what's that saying? Birds of a feather flock together. That's how people sometimes think. So if you associate with foolishness, people think that you're full of foolishness. So that's what you've got to remember. And, I just thought that it was interesting at the same time, because I was thinking, is Safari that much of a big deal in America? Like, he's really having an impact on people's pounds. But yeah, that's another story anyway. But then at the same time, when she brought up the whole thing to Safari, I just thought, come on now, it's just ridiculous. He's basically just letting you know he doesn't really business. And, it wasn't great. I was just side-eyeing him, because it was just like, really? What's with the attitude as well? Like, it's like, oh, well, you know what? I hate when someone brings this back to me, and I hate when someone brings this kind of stuff back to me. But you're out here talking rubbish on social media. Of course someone's going to bring it back to you. Anyway, throw the whole thing away. The ratio's over anyway, according to all the blogs, and was fake anyway. So, yeah, whatever the case is, it's just foolishness at this point. And lastly, I just had to laugh at this whole sit-down situation that Ray J instigated. Because to me, Ray J has not had much of a storyline going on at the moment, besides the princess and poker situation. She's back now. There's not really been much of a storyline. So, he's saying he's basically triggered by what situation is going on with Marlon, moving to Joy. But this sit down made me laugh because Trick was like, yeah, he's kind of glad that Holiday had this conversation. But I was like, nothing was resolved at all when you look at it, because Marlon kind of gave you some sort of excuse about he's from the island and he didn't really, mean that way. But at the same time, he said, well, I know you guys are kind of getting a divorce. Then he said in the confessional that he likes her, but they were really close, but he doesn't want to ruin her life. So that means you clearly are aware that you are full of caca. So where was his attitude with your wife, Flo? Why didn't you want to ruin her life? Like, it was okay to ruin her one? Yeah, this whole situation, it just made me laugh. Anyway, what do you guys think?